Here we're going to look at a few effective examples from a summary of Alice Munro's Boys and Girls. We'll notice that the introductory paragraph begins by naming the title of the story, names the author, and then gets right into the factual details from the story. There's no I voice, there's no opinion, and it's really not an interpretation that we're being given here, but just a factual account of what happened in the story. Next, we have some examples of integrating quotation effectively within a body paragraph. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. You'll notice in the first case here, we have just one word quoted, but it's run smoothly as part of this sentence. And then the citation is correct, the author name, and the page number. Our next example here shows another way of integrating material from the primary text effectively into your own writing. In this case, it's a paraphrase, not a direct quotation, but you'll notice that the author here sets up the paraphrased material with a nice introductory phrase, something as simple as "according to Munro." And then, again, because we've used the author name in that introductory phrase, we don't need to repeat it in the parenthetical citation, it's just the page number. Here we have another example of the author of the summary integrating quotation effectively into the summary itself with this basic introductory phrase, "as Munro points out," comma, and then the quoted material, the correct citation, and even the clarifying use of the square brackets here to indicate that the mother is the one we're talking about, whereas in the original story it's probably just she, which is a little confusing in the context of the summary, so we use the square brackets and mother to clarify exactly who is being talked about here. Now let's look at the Works Cited page. You'll notice that it's its own numbered page. It's titled Works Cited. There's no bold, no underline, no italics, nothing fancy about the title of the page. It's double-spaced throughout. The entry begins flush left, but then subsequent lines are indented. And of course the formatting is correct throughout. You may have noticed one slightly confusing thing that our book provides. It names a couple of sets of editors. The first, Peter Simon, is the overall editor for all of the Norton Intro to Lit editions. The other editors named more specifically for our book, Allison Booth and Kelly J. Mays, are again specific to our edition of the textbook. Either one of these you could use acceptably in a Works Cited entry. So now let's look at how to find the entry model, of course. We start at the COD Library homepage, and we find the Citing Sources link. Again, we follow the MLA formatting, not APA. And anything from our textbook, we follow the article chapter from an edited book model. This shows us what goes where and also provides an example to follow. So notice we start with the author of the short story, last name, then first name, the title, in this case Boys and Girls, in quotation marks, the title of the book, which is the Norton Introduction to Literature, in italics, then our editors, the city of publication, which happens to be New York, the publisher, Norton or W.W. Norton and Company, the date, the page numbers, and then the medium consulted, which in this case is print. So be sure to look at the document that I've sent back to you and compare yours against these effective models, including the introductory paragraph, integrating quotation smoothly and citing it correctly in the text of your essay, and also, of course, the Works Cited page.